Okay, guys, we're back for part 3 of my first NBA series that I'm doing. I'm pretty much covering all 30 teams, and I've broken it down into 10 teams for each video. So this is the third video in that series. And what do you know? We have the Oklahoma City Thunder, man. We saw what they did last year with their run to the finals. Pretty much they were the favorites almost the entire time. They had a bunch of close games with the Nuggets, but ultimately they pulled that victory off, and they made quick work of the Timberwolves, unfortunately. Looks like they're in a very very great situation with their rosters out. Okay, so this big three is pretty much locked in. Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren have already signed major extensions. So this is more so about utilizing your window, taking advantage of your window to win now. And the worst thing that could possibly happen is some of their veterans kind of drop off due to not being able to afford them. But then that's why you draft well. That's why you got young guys that you're developing that can come in and take those spots. A guy like Alex Caruso is going to be very hard to replace. I feel like Isaiah and him are really what put OKC on the map. And I'm hoping that my Wizards team can kind of model somewhat of what they did. Obviously, finding a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is going to be very difficult, but I do believe we got a Lou Dort type player on our team. We have a Jalen Williams type player on our team. We definitely have a Chet Holmgren type player on our team. And we just need everybody to develop and find the right pieces to make it all fit. But yeah, I see them possibly running it back all the way to the finals. Hopefully the Timberwolves can knock them off of the Thunder. Or the Nuggets. The Timberwolves or in my opinion, the Timberwolves, the Nuggets, and we'll see what the Lakers can do this year, are the biggest threat to knocking them off. And the Warriors might be sneaky good as well. So that's pretty much my top 5 in the West. And I'm not really talking about record. I'm just saying like my top 5 teams that come out of the West to win a championship. So yeah, the Orlando Magic, they made a bold move last offseason. This past offseason, pretty much trading away some pieces for Desmond Bane. Very interesting pickup. I feel like they definitely have some more firepower, but I am concerned about how it all fits. Franz Wagner is pretty much what Cooper Flagg is going to be. Maybe even better than Franz Wagner, but Franz Wagner is a pretty great basketball player. So yeah, that's how I feel about him. And then you got Paolo Banchero. I remember at one point they were trying to decide between him and Jabari Smith Jr. who's going to be the number 1 pick. They clearly made the correct decision. There's a player very similar to his game coming into the draft next year, possibly. And yeah, very interesting team. I can't really say that Desmond Bane moves the needle for them to just come directly out of the West, like top 3. But it definitely solidifies them. It closes some holes in their team and their offense and just gives them that legit third option. And you don't have to necessarily rely on Jalen Suggs to be that third option. And yeah, they just got to bring it all together, take advantage of their positioning in the East, play with maturity, play the right way, and they could possibly crack the top 3 in the East, but really see them more so top 4, top 5 type team. Jace Richardson, I love to see what he can do as an undersized guard. As I've said prior, undersized guards are going out of style, but their bench is pretty solid. Tyus Jones is like the perfect backup point guard. There's no better backup point guard in the league than Tyus Jones. So that's my opinion. Good squad. We'll see what they can do with continuity and just figuring out how to play well. The Philadelphia 76, my God, man, it just feels like they, as an organization, make the right decisions as far as players, but then they also just end up having the worst luck with picking up great players and trying to build great systems and build talent around their team. The problem has never been a lack of talent. It's always been unfortunate circumstances with this team, or just not being able to figure it out in time in order to take advantage of that window. And this year right here, Joel Embiid's window is dwindling due to injuries. I can't really see him having a long lasting career at this point, unless he continues down the path of not playing as many games. So you just have to take advantage of that. The East is wide open. Paul George, they just need you to be a somewhat resemblance of your old self. Quentin Grimes, you have all the potential in the world to solidify yourself as that permanent starting guard. There were talks about you coming off the bench, but nah, man, you can be a starter. Man, Philly. Ace Bailey is balling out in preseason, but you guys picked up the right player for this team, for what you guys are trying to do. VJ Edgecombe is a young professional, very professional, very hungry, very doing what it takes to get the dub, very Oladipo-esque, very mini Jimmy Butler-esque. You can't get any better than that, man. And then Tyrese Maxey, just continue doing what you're doing, but you need everybody else to step up to the plate. Keep doing what you're doing, and everybody else step up. Look at the bench, man. I mean, the bench is straight. I don't really know too much about Trent Watford, but possibly solid young guy. And then you got Justin Edwards to fill in that role if he doesn't pan out. He has all the talent in the world as well. Imoni Bates, all the talent in the world. And they're at Johnny Broom. Oh my God. Come on. They just know. They know how to pick them. Philly knows how to pick them. It's just some dark cloud just always hangs over this team. Something always goes left, no matter how great of decisions they make. Paul George might not have been the greatest decision, but it wasn't a bad, terrible, worst freaking decision. It's just money at the end of the day, you know? You want to win. Gotta spend money to try to win. Who else would you going to spend that money on? I don't know. Moving on. Phoenix Suns they just seem so, but they could possibly be really good. They could possibly be a play-in team, and I hope that they're a play-in team because they got something going on with Washington as far as some draft picks, and the Knicks might. If our pick doesn't end in the top 8, then the Knicks would somehow get our pick. I haven't looked all the way into it, but we need the Suns to be some type of good, and my team, the Wizards, need to be some type of bad so we can get a top 8 pick this year. And this is another stacked draft. The draft coming up this year might be better than the draft we just had. That's how talented the next draft is. They're neck and neck when it comes to talent as far as superstar game-changing talent. But Devin Booker clearly at the 1. Who else is going to play the 1? They got rid of Tyus Jones. Bradley Beal was a cancer to the team. That's how I feel he's going to be with the Clippers. Dillon Brooks, man, as much as I don't like Dillon Brooks, as much as people hate Dillon Brooks, he is a good basketball player. He makes your team great. I would love to have someone on my team like Dillon Brooks. Sometimes I was Dillon Brooks when I played. Yeah, Ryan Dunn, don't know too much about him, but you can always play some small ball role. Royce O'Neal with Dillon Brooks at the 3 and 4 today's NBA. They drafted Kamon Malawaj. They taking a chance on Mark Williams. I mean, Grayson Allen is that guy. He's one of those perfect role players you want on your team. Everybody wants a Alex Caruso on their team, a Grayson Allen on their team, a Tyus Jones on their team. Rasheer Fleming, he is a great prospect as well. I really wanted my Wizards to pick him up, but they did not. And they took their last draft pick on Will Riley, but we'll see how that pans out. He can play the 3 or the 4. So much talent, man. Some of these guys just got to figure it out and piece it all together. Jordan Goodwin, if someone gets hurt, I'll take him. Same thing with Jared Butler. Someone gets hurt, cool. Kobe Brea, all the talent in the world. Phoenix, yeah, they got something to fall back on. They have things to fall back on. So this is all about, let's ride this Devin Booker wave out as much as possible. Let's try to, this is what we got. Let's figure it out. Let's see how far we can go. Let's rock and roll. Portland Trail Blazers, man. At this point, man, I think they're just selling tickets on their young team. They fleeced us with the Denny Avdia trade because if Bud Carrington doesn't work out for us, essentially we gave Denny Avdia away for pennies. And he was already very affordable anyway. But yeah, he's just a great glue guy. You would want him to be your 6th man or your big role player on a championship team, but he is also that glue guy that could be on a championship team for sure. He's Hugo Turkoglu type-esque if you are familiar with his game from the old Orlando Magic days. Donovan Clingan, Robert Williams, they got plenty of size. I think this is the guy that's like 7'2". I think he's like 7'2" or something, and then he didn't get an invite, but he came and got drafted out of the crowd. I think that's that guy from the draft. Chris Murray, if he can get anything close to what his brother could do, he'll be okay. Matisse Thybulle. I forgot how to pronounce his name, but he's a no 3 and D guy. If he's hitting shots and affecting plays, then excellent role player. Shaden Sharp, for some reason, they have him coming off the bench. Tumani Kamari at the 2. He's really a 4. They got some size. They are trying to have some size. Tumani at the 2? I got to put Shaden Sharp at the 2 and maybe play small ball with Jeremy Grant at the center position, but you're wasting Donovan Cleveland and Robert. This is interesting. I didn't realize they were this huge. And I keep saying how point guards are disappearing. Are they thinking about putting Shaden Sharp at point? Yeah, and then you have Scoot Henderson at the bottom. He got injured. Oh my God. Scoot's supposed to be the point guard. And this is the year, man. I was like, this is his year. He's gonna be he's gonna be close to what we thought Scoot was supposed to be already. Yeah, this team is I didn't realize they were this interesting, man. I need to keep up with the Portland Trailblazers a little bit more. They have an interesting future, man. They got to figure this out. But they got this. Oh my God, this is a new brand of basketball. If he can play point. Jeremy Grant's the odd man out because he's the veteran. Eventually, he's just going to have to go. And then you just slide Tumari at the 4, Denny at the 3, keep him at the 3, and Shaden Sharp at the 2. Hopefully that one of these centers pan out. Robert Williams can't stay healthy. You got it coming off the bench. Yeah, then you just need a point guard. You need Scoot that just, man, yeah. And Dame coming back. Oh my God, they can make a playoff. They can make a run next year. They're going to make a run next year. This team, bro. This is a cool team. I fuck with this team. The Kings, man, they need a point guard. They lost out, man. They just, I don't know what happened, man. You got Dennis Schroeder. He plays excellent in Euro basketball. He's an MVP candidate in the Euro basketball. But Zach LaVine, he's already tried to be point. It's not going to work. Malik Monk, we know you're just an excellent bench player. Keon Ellis, you're not a backup point. So just slide him over, put Malik Monk down. Keon Ellis over here, Dennis Schroeder here. And y'all just do what y'all can do, man. But where the heck is okay, I was about to say, where the hell is Keegan Murray? Yeah, he's injured. So, okay, Dario Saric, I didn't even know you're still in the league. I really don't keep up with the Kings. They're just blah. They made that run. I don't know what the heck happened with De'Aaron Fox, man. But after that, I'm just like, y'all went and got Zach LaVine. I just did what y'all could do to bring some type of players here. DeMar DeRozan, that was a weird pickup, but I get why you guys did it. I get why he wanted to come there. I don't know. They got to figure it out. They got talent, but it's not promising. It's a bunch of people where we just know what they can do and who they are. And it's like, okay, let's just hoop. Let's just go out there and hoop. I like Nate Clifford, though. That's a rookie. He could turn into a, 15 and team, 4-2 type guy. Here we go. Not going to say too much about the Spurs. My brother's a big Spurs fan. But the first thing that comes to mind is this guy, Dylan Harper, man. I don't think, if they knew they were going to get Dylan Harper, there's no way they made that De'Aaron Fox trade. And then that means that Sacramento will probably make a different De'Aaron Fox trade and their roster wouldn't look how it is perplexing as it does now. But yeah, San Antonio, man. And then De'Aaron Fox had an injury and they're slowing him back. And he's like, I don't know why they won't let me play. I'm like, because they want to see what this guy can do. They want to see what Dylan Harper can do with Wemby. Because if you're officially not here long term, unless they permanently move Stephon to the 3 and put Dylan at the 2, and y'all run it like that, that's not too bad. Harrison Barnes, he's getting up there in the age, but you need someone that's been around for a while to keep everybody in check. He's a veteran, man. He's a professional. Kelly Olynyk, same thing. So glad the Wizards didn't keep him after we made that CJ McCollum trade. Carter Bryant, oh my God, man, I'm so jealous of my brother's team because both of our teams are rebuilding. His team, the Spurs, has a rich history. Mine has a history of mediocrity, but also we're both getting chances to rebuild. They get Wemby, we get Sarr. They get Dylan Harper, we get goddamn Trey Johnson. Trey Johnson's good, but he's no Dylan Harper. Maybe he could catch up to him one day, but I just think Dylan Harper's going to be that guy, man. I just wish we could have got him on our team. It was over with. He's French. Tony Parker connection. He gets rigged. But yeah, really good squad. Carter Bryant could be he could be anything. He could be any type of player he wants to be. Whatever work he's willing to put in, he can be that player. That's how good. That's how much potential is in that guy. But yeah, man, They're doing their thing. Then they got Champagne way down here in the depth chart. This guy can hoop. Him and his brother can hoop. So jealous of their rebuild, man. I'm super jealous. They got the right veterans, the right mid-type players, and the right young players. They just got a mix of all the right things. What do you expect? I expect nothing less from the Spurs. I like what they're doing here. I just watched the preseason game against my Wizards. Scotty Barnes is what he is. He's just like a baby Giannis type player, maybe with a little bit better of a jumper. Not as dominant as Giannis, but that's just his game to me. Can cross it up and move a lot as stiff as Giannis, but yeah, I like his game. Jakob Poeltl, you already know what he's gonna do, man. He's double machine, prototypical center. Jonas Valanciunas-esque, you know, if you need someone to put a body on Jokic, he's good for it. I really like his game. I didn't like him when he first started, but now that he's become more mature with his game and more efficient and just straight to it instead of trying to be like hero ball type player, I really like him. He's calm, relaxed. He gets straight to it. That's just what you need in a two guard. He's just not like your lead guard. He's a great number two. He's a step above Andrew Wiggins. And we know how great Andrew Wiggins was supposed to be, but for some reason it just feels like he just seems like role player. Andrew Wiggins' energy has always been role player. RJ Barrett's energy is, I'm the number two. We need the number one. Unfortunately, I don't think Brandon Ingram's the number one. Scotty Barnes could be the number one in a few years. He could be that guy. And then Emmanuel Quickly, I don't necessarily see him being a star point guard, but point guards are dwindling. Scotty Barnes has some point guard capabilities. RJ Barrett does as well, but we'll see how that turns out. Did not know Garrett Temple was still playing. Longtime Washington Wizard. I saw him on the bench today and thought he was on the coaching staff. This guy's on the roster. This Jamal Sheed guy, don't know too much about him, but he was balling his ass off. Colin Murray Boyles, he's supposed to be the same type player as Scotty Barnes, a Draymond Green type player. They did pretty good picking up these. I think we're almost done, man. This is more work than I thought, making a 20-minute video, talking for 20 minutes straight. Hopefully I'm doing better talking, less cussing. Obviously I'm going to fumble some words, but hopefully I'm not doing it as bad as I've done in previous videos. Let's get back down to the Raptors because we're almost done. I think 2 more teams after the Raptors. But yeah, I like what the Raptors are doing. They just gotta put it all together. They'll go as far as, and they were lacking in some offense. Brandon Ingram's going to come and help them on offense for sure because outside of these two and sometimes Emmanuel, they just don't have anybody. Grady Dick tried. Carla Murray is not going to come in scoring. So yeah, they'll go as far as these 3 guys take them. And these guys could take them far in the East. They could either shock me and be a top 4 team or just stick to being 7th play-in tournament type team. 6th, 7th play-in tournament type team. But still, they could be dangerous in the playoffs just because of matchup problems. And then they play so physical. Utah Jazz. I really like the Jazz team because of their guards and because of this guy, Ace Bailey. Keontae George, Walter Clayton, Isaiah Collier. They got too many guards. They're trying to figure out who's going to take it, who's going to come up here and lead this pack. They got 3 options. Who's going to freaking do it? You got your pass first point guard. You got your combo guard that's really kind of a 2, but he's the most dynamic, so you're going to play him at the point guard considering your lineup. Walter Clayton, who was a big-time shot maker and out of college, can he apply some pressure and just snatch it from these 2 guys? If not, you got Keontae George versus Isaiah Collier, and then he'll just be the backup. Eventually, someone's getting phased out. Then Ace Bailey, not 6'10", but he is 6'7", 6'8". Coming in, man, naturally should be a small forward, but you got him coming in playing a 2 guard with Kyle Filipowski and Georges Yang at the 4, Walker Kessler and Nurkic at the center. Like this team, I hope they're not bad. I hope they're not bad because Ace Bailey wanted to come to the Wizards. He did not want to come to the Jazz. He was trying to force his way to the Wizards. And the Jazz, they have Danny Ainge's son running to him. And he just like his daddy said, fuck how you feel. We got things to do. We building something over here. We snatching your ass whether you like it or not. What you gonna do? Hoop or what? And boy, that boy is hooping in preseason. And I'm just like, we were 1 pick away. We were 1 egomaniac away from having him on our team. And I just hope that Trey Johnson pans out, man. Because right now I feel like I fear that Trey Johnson is going to be good, but I fear he's just going to be the perfect 6-man guy. That's my fear. And that means he heavily reliant on next year's draft. AJ DeBonsta, Daryl Peterson, and Cam Boozer. We need a top 3 pick. My team needs a top 3 pick. And they stole Ace Bailey from us. That's how I feel. And when they had next year's draft, AJ DeBonsta, or however you say it, AJ next year, all he knows is Utah basketball. All he knows is Utah. You can't tell me he doesn't want to play for the Jazz. You can't tell me that it would be the perfect scenario if the Jazz got the number 1 pick next year or the number 2 pick, because some people think Darren Peterson's better. But since they got Ace Bailey, I pray to God that the Jazz are too good to get a top pick and we're just as bad to get AJ. It's only fair. If we get AJ, then I'll say screw all of this. And I won't be mad if we get Darren Peterson, but I would prefer if we got Cam Boozer as well. But this team is not that bad. I think the organization is just a little toxic right now. And that's why they're changing leadership and got so many changes, and they're trying to figure out this point guard situation. And then Lauri Markkanen is always on the block. Walker Kessler is always on the block. It's like, just relax, man. Y'all just doing too much. This is what y'all got. Let's rock with it and figure it out, and try not to suck this year. Y'all don't have to suck this year. Y'all can be good this year if y'all want to. Please. Pretty good team, though. I'm not going to say too much. I'm going to really wrap this up because this is my favorite team. I just watched them play in preseason and thoroughly impressed by a couple of people. Need to see more from some other people, and then very disappointed at some people. But I'm probably going to make a separate video on the Washington Wizards. I pretty much talked about them in all 3 of the videos, low key. All I'm going to say here is I'm worried that Carrington is not the point guard of our future. I believe Keyshawn George has the ability to be a Jalen Williams type player if he learns how to finish his shots and he gets good looks. He has all the moves. He has the IQ. Just got to make those shots. Everything else is great. Passing, defense, hustle, mentality. We just need you to finish those shots that you'd be taking. Alex Sarr, just toughen up, only go for the threes when you got them, when it makes sense. Just toughen up and then keep developing. CJ, Chris, thanks for perfect veterans to lead this squad, man. I love Jordan Poole. Didn't really like Kyle Kuzma, but the 2 worst people you want leading a rebuilding team. And please, Cam Whitmore. It looks like they were playing him at the 4, which is great. Figure out, take somebody, crack your way into that starting lineup. Figure it out, hustle, play defense. Don't just be a scorer. Play team ball, and you will get there somewhere. And if for some reason we don't get we need a lot, man. We're missing we're really missing a point guard. And my hopes is Trey Johnson can somehow, some way turn into that point guard and be the SGA at least. You don't have to drop 30, but you can be that type point guard, the scorer. Alex Sarr can be the Chet Holmgren. Eventually we move into the 4. Or we draft Cam Boozer, and I'll be fine keeping Alex Sarr at the center with the potential Wemby and have that French connection. And Cam Boozer, Cam Whitmore at 3. Bilal Coulibaly. I'm super scared that his defense is solid. I'm super scared that his offense is just never going to develop until a 3-and-D at least be a 3-and-D guy. But ideally, if everybody panned out, Trey at the 1, Bilal Coulibaly at the 2, Cam Whitmore at the 3, Cam Boozer at the 4, and then Keyshawn George, that perfect role player coming off the bench. If it's out of these two, Cam Whitmore, you either gonna be the perfect player coming off the bench, or Keyshawn George, the perfect player coming off the bench, above Carrington and perfect guard coming off the bench. And we just need one of them top 3 picks at the 3 or the 4. And if we just so happen to get Darren Peterson, I think Darren Peterson can play the 1. We need a top 3 pick. That's all I got to say. Thanks for watching.